There's a reason why so many brilliant, thoughtful people, maybe people just like you, wake up every day feeling like they're not living the life they were meant for. It's not that you don't want more. It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you lack the potential to be someone extraordinary. It's that quietly, invisibly, you keep falling into traps you can't even see. Nietzsche once said, "The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe." But the most dangerous enemies of your potential aren't out there in the world. They're right inside you. Habits and beliefs you picked up from the crowd, mistakes that seem small but sabotage everything you could become. If you watch all 3 parts of this video, you'll not only see the 13 mistakes that have been destroying your potential, you'll also discover the secret code for escaping them, one that Nietzsche hinted at, but few ever truly follow. Stick with this. If you see yourself in these traps, the way out will change everything. Most people are sleepwalking. Every morning, they wake up, scroll their phone, rush through a routine, and go through the motions as if their day is already written by someone else. Days turn into weeks, weeks into years. And one day they wonder, how did my life become so small? Nietzsche believed the greatest danger wasn't failing big, but never really waking up at all. Potential isn't something you find. It's something you awaken by noticing what everyone else ignores. Ask yourself, when was the last time you made a conscious choice just because it was yours? Not your family's, not your boss's, not society's. If you're feeling stuck, it's time to startle yourself awake. Take a day off your routines. Do something strange, even if it's tiny. Walk a new street. Write a letter to your future self. Question every habit for one morning. Wake yourself up, because the world won't do it for you. Nietzsche wrote, "The surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct him to hold in higher esteem those who think alike than those who think differently." If your biggest fear is being judged or rejected, your entire life becomes a performance. You measure yourself by the reactions of the crowd, not by the fire in your own heart. This is the invisible prison that destroys more dreams than failure ever could. You stop yourself before anyone else can. You shrink to fit the mold. Your potential dies in the space between what you want and what you let yourself pursue. The secret Nietzsche understood. The most powerful force in the world is a person willing to be misunderstood for the sake of their own truth. Start with small acts of honesty. Say no when you want to. Share your real opinions. Wear what feels like you, not what's safe. The less you care about fitting in, the more you start to stand out and grow. How many times have you said, "Someday when I'm ready"? We are trained from birth to ask for permission, from parents, from teachers, from invisible rules that run society. But Nietzsche saw that the only way to become yourself is to stop waiting for someone to grant you a pass. Potential is wasted in waiting rooms. You don't need someone's blessing to start writing, to apply, to create, to leave, to speak up. If you're always waiting for approval, you'll watch your dreams die in line behind everyone else's. The only real permission slip is the one you write for yourself. Ask, what am I waiting for? What's the worst that happens if I start before anyone says yes? It starts young, looking at the kid who runs faster, the friend who gets more likes, the neighbor who seems to have it all. You start to measure your worth by the scoreboard of other people's lives. But Nietzsche warned, he who despises himself still respects himself as one who despises. The more you compare, the less you see your own path. Comparison poisons your mind quietly. It turns ambition into envy and gratitude into self-doubt. You can't run your race looking sideways. The only person you need to be better than is the version of you from yesterday. Try this. For 1 week, celebrate every small win, no matter how tiny, and notice every time you feel the urge to compare. Turn that energy back to your own work. Your only competition is your past self. Nietzsche believed the snake which cannot cast its skin has to die. Growth is painful. The world worships comfort. Couch, screen, food. Same old friends, same old routine. But nothing worth becoming happens in your comfort zone. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you let your potential shrink. The best version of you lives on the other side of discomfort, awkwardness, newness, risk, and uncertainty. If your life never feels uncomfortable, you're not growing, you're shrinking. Ask, what's one thing you've avoided this month just because it would be hard or awkward? Do it. Let discomfort be your compass. If it scares you and you know it matters, it's probably the right direction. A secret for those who stay. Most people will hear these mistakes, nod, and do nothing. But if you're still here, you've already done something rare. You've questioned the script you were given. You're awake enough to want more. The next part reveals even deeper mistakes, habits and beliefs that quietly kill potential from the inside. And as you go, I'll reveal Nietzsche's secret code, the path to reclaiming everything you've lost and finally unlocking what's waiting inside you. Ready to keep going? Stay with me, and let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes. We live in a world where distraction is currency. Every ping, every scroll, every headline pulls you away from yourself. But Nietzsche believed distraction is not just a modern problem. It's the perfect hiding place for an unfulfilled life. If you fill every empty moment with noise, you'll never hear the quiet voice inside that tells you what really matters. Distraction steals your attention, but it also steals your direction. You can't build anything lasting if your energy is divided into 1,000 pieces. Your potential demands focus, a kind of sacred time with your own mind. Try this. Carve out 1 hour without your phone, your computer, or anyone else's agenda. Sit with your own thoughts, even if they're uncomfortable. It's in these moments that the real work begins. Most people are terrified of admitting they're wrong. They hold tight to old beliefs, even as those beliefs destroy their happiness and hope. Nietzsche warned that stubbornness is not strength. It's weakness disguised as pride. The world changes. You change. If you want to grow, you must let go of the comfort of being right. The most powerful words you'll ever say are, "I was wrong, and now I know better." When you learn to change your mind, you give yourself permission to change your life. It's easy to believe that big change demands big gestures, radical transformation, overnight success, dramatic breakthroughs. But Nietzsche understood that the greatest changes happen slowly, through small, almost invisible steps. Your potential is destroyed not by huge mistakes, but by tiny habits repeated every day. A single being's decision, made daily, will rot your dreams. But a single good decision, made consistently, will build a foundation you can trust. Never underestimate the power of 10 minutes of reading, 5 minutes of journaling, one brave conversation, or one step outside your comfort zone. These little choices are the bricks of your future. Fear is ancient. It kept our ancestors alive. But in the modern world, it keeps us small. Nietzsche believed that what we fear most is often what we need most. When fear makes your choices, you trade your future for your comfort. You let the what-ifs dictate who you are and who you could become. Write this down. Most regrets are born from fear, not failure. If you want to see your potential, you have to do the things that scare you, even if your voice shakes, even if you fall. Make fear your advisor, not your master. The quickest way to destroy your own potential is to try to make everyone else happy. Nietzsche saw that the masses are always suspicious of anyone who dares to be different. If you live for approval, you'll live on scraps, because no matter how much you give, it's never enough for everyone. Your life isn't a democracy. You don't need a majority vote to be yourself. The cost of pleasing everyone is betraying the one person who truly matters, you. Choose authenticity over popularity. One honest no is worth 100 fake yeses. Maybe you were wronged. Maybe you failed. Maybe there's an old story you keep telling yourself about why you can't be more. Nietzsche knew the past can be a heavy chain, or the raw material for your rebirth. You can't move forward if you keep dragging yesterday behind you. Forgive what can't be changed. Learn from what hurt you. But don't let it be the prison you live in for the rest of your life. Potential is a promise to your future self, not a payment for your past. A secret most won't see. Most people stop here. They nod along, maybe feel inspired, then slide back into distraction, comfort, and old habits. But if you're still watching, you're not most people. You're already searching for something rare, a life that doesn't end in regret. In the final part, you'll get Nietzsche's master key for escaping these traps and finally seeing what you're truly capable of. It's not another trick or empty promise, but the path he used to break out of the herd and become one of history's most original minds. The end is where everything changes. If you're serious about your potential, don't miss it. We all tell ourselves that one day, when we're ready, when we have more time, more money, more confidence, then we'll start. But Nietzsche warned that the future influences the present just as much as the past. In other words, waiting for someday is just another name for never. The perfect moment will never arrive. Conditions will never be just right. If you want to change, you have to start now, with what you have, right where you are. Potential is lost one tomorrow at a time. Here's a secret almost nobody will tell you. The person you need to forgive the most is not out there. It's you. Nietzsche saw how self-condemnation can rot the spirit. If you hold on to every past mistake, you'll never let yourself evolve. You are not your failures. You are not your worst day. You are what you choose next. Forgive yourself for not knowing better. Forgive yourself for waiting, for doubting, for hiding. That's the only way to make space for who you might become. The master key, radical responsibility. You've seen the mistakes. Now here's the master key Nietzsche would hand you. Radical responsibility. The willingness to claim your life, right now, as your own, without blaming fate, parents, luck, or the world. This is not about shame. It's about power. Radical responsibility means you can't choose what happened to you, but you choose what you do next. You own your gifts and your wounds. You write the story, no matter who tried to scribble in your margins. Most people wait for rescue. But Nietzsche believed greatness belongs to those who stop waiting and start creating, who take their pain, confusion, mistakes, and use them as raw material to build something new. How to use the master key. 1. Own your choices, even the tiny daily ones. Did you scroll instead of work? Did you say yes when you wanted to say no? Own it. That's the first step out of sleepwalking. 2. Break the pattern. Today, not tomorrow. Interrupt your old script with one unexpected act. Call someone you've been avoiding. Start the project you've been putting off. Say no, where you'd always say yes. 3. Build resilience through small risks. Every time you act in spite of fear or discomfort, you grow stronger. Don't look for safety. Look for the lesson. 4. Reflect and adjust, but never quit. Every week, check in. Where did you act from fear? Where did you act from truth? No guilt, just honest course correction. 5. Celebrate even the smallest progress. Potential is grown brick by brick, not in one leap. Recognize yourself for every honest attempt to change. The truth. Most ignore, but you won't. Most will keep searching for secrets, hacks, shortcuts, or someone else to blame. But if you've watched this far, you already have what others miss: awareness, courage, the willingness to see your own mistakes and do something about them. Nietzsche's master key isn't flashy. It isn't easy. But it's real. When you own your life, you unlock doors that others will spend their lives looking for. Your challenge: step through. Right now, before you forget, choose one mistake that's been haunting you. Write it in the comments. Claim it publicly. Then write down the first small act you'll take today to break its hold. Let this be the moment you stop waiting for your potential and start living it. If this video woke something up in you, hit subscribe and join a community that's committed to never settling for less. Let's hold each other accountable in the comments. Your potential isn't a theory. It's a decision, one you get to make now. Are you ready to use the master key? The choice is yours. Bonus: the mistake even Nietzsche nearly missed. You've faced all 13 mistakes. You've heard the master key. But there's one final trap that almost no one talks about, one that even the greatest minds can fall into. Nietzsche himself danced on the edge of it. We live in a world that worships improvement, growth, being your best self. It's tempting to make potential just another standard to punish yourself with. You measure every day by what you didn't do. You replay your failures instead of your attempts. You turn self-development into a competition you can never win. Even Nietzsche, for all his warnings against the crowd, sometimes became his own harshest judge. He chased greatness so fiercely that he forgot to rest, to celebrate small progress, to let life happen in the present. Here's the secret. Your potential is not some distant finish line you run toward. It's the way you move, the questions you ask, the risks you take, and the joy you allow yourself to feel today. How to escape this final trap. Balance. Ambition. With compassion, push yourself, but never abandon yourself. Measure progress. By courage, not perfection. Every honest step is a win, even the imperfect ones. Let go of arrival. There's no final destination, only deeper layers to uncover. Turn the journey into joy. Laugh at your mistakes. Celebrate when you try. Notice when you grow. Your last invitation. Right now in the comments, write one thing you're proud of, no matter how small. Not because you're there, but because you're moving. Share what you're chasing, but also share the moments you gave yourself a break. Let this community be the rare place where effort is celebrated as much as achievement. If you're still here, you're different. Most never finish. Most never dare to claim their own story. Remember, the world needs more people who are awake, courageous, and kind to themselves. That's rarer than genius. That's what Nietzsche was really after. A life lived with wild honesty and real compassion. Don't just chase your potential. Live it, starting now.